Hello, ladies and gentlemen. This is Jonah Rosenblum, Record-Courier beat writer, and welcome to Portage Football Live. Let's start with some Metro Division action from Week 7 as the Coventry Comets came back from 21-0 down to beat Streetsboro. It was a marvelous comeback in spite of the best efforts of Keyshawn Jones, who's turned into just a marvelous receiver for Streetsboro. Treyon Sibley had a big interception return in the second half of Coventry's comeback, and John Arlesic, Streetsboro's coach, told me afterward, yeah, Treyon Sibley, he is legitimate. So we're starting to see a Week 9 matchup develop between Ravenna and Streetsboro that could very well determine a postseason spot. Streetsboro could be 6-1. They're two very close losses away from being 6-1. But even at 4-3, the Rockets sit 10th in their region with the top 8 advancing. So they're very much alive for a postseason spot. So is Ravenna, who they'll play in Week 9. Ravenna is 9th in their region, so the loser of that game will likely be eliminated from the playoffs. The winner may very well play in Week 11. Let's move on to game balls. Let's toss 7 game balls to Logan Toot and his offensive line for 7 rushing touchdowns, a marvelous performance. We're also going to toss a game ball to Jordan Fabry, and I bet you he'll catch it. He had an incredible diving catch against Garfield on Friday night, and afterwards I asked Coach Pete Thompson about it, and he said, look, that's just Jordan Fabry. What can I tell you? We're also giving a game ball to the Garfield fan base. That was a great environment for high school football for Crestwood Garfield. The home stands filled up at least 30 minutes before the game, and so you had overflow seating in the hill over one of the end zones. Just a marvelous environment for high school football. We're also going to toss a game ball to the Ravenna Ravens, who came back from a scoreless first half to explode for 30 points in the second half, and Brady Starkey a 41-yard field goal. I promise you folks, that's not the norm in the PTC, but Starkey seems to do it every week. Great job out of him. We're also giving a game ball to Darren Parks of Kent Roosevelt. His interception helped seal the Rough Riders' win last week over Garfield Heights. And we're also tossing some game balls to Woodridge, who moves to 7-0, 4-0 in the Metro. That Bulldogs run defense held Dominic Smith, one of the best rushers in the conference, to 8 rushing yards, an incredible performance out of them. And Mason Leidick, the Woodridge quarterback, 6 attempts, 6 completions, 3 touchdowns, an incredible performance. We're also giving some game balls to Waterloo and Rookstown. The victorious Rovers led by 3 touchdown passes from Scott Stager. Meanwhile, the Vikings, a very valiant rally led by Trevor Wise, who had an 100-yard pick 6 and an 80-yard touchdown run. So great job out of him. But perhaps most important, both teams rallying together and rallying behind Vikings alum Shannon Beach and her 9-month-old son who's battling a rare form of leukemia, the 2 teams helping raise money for that 9-month-old's chemo treatments. Just an incredible gesture from both teams. Let's move on to Record-Courier game of the week. Mogadore Garfield both still have a home playoff game at stake. Last week, the Garfield run defense wore down in the second half against Logan Toot. That can't happen in Week 8 because you can bet Mogadore is going to run the ball a ton. The Wildcats ran it 54 times and went over Southeast last week. Meanwhile, the question is also, can the Garfield offensive line hold up? When Dalton Fall has time, he is very capable of dissecting a defense. We saw that in the first half against Crestwood. The question is, can that passing offense live for 48 minutes against the Mogadore Wildcats? I'll be live from Garfield, Mogadore. You can follow me at JLR Sports. Thank you so much for tuning in.